Wait a minute. You mean that's a separate?
We're up to some meetings tonight. We have another meeting Tuesday.
Yeah.
I just gotta sit somewhere. I don't want to do that. Let's just read it and I'll be done. Oh, recess, okay.
Yeah, well, my husband will go there.
That's always a fun time about.
Yes, it is. We got 7 less this year than we did last year.
What?
7 less this year than last year.
Great, how about yourself?
This year our seniors. I'd like to think that, but I'm not even a pro because I did it all last year.
Last year we just missed it. We don't know.
I don't know, we missed that, we missed the chamber, whatever thing. Good.
If we say your property stands.
This is just moral support.
We say that property, your property worth less.
That's what I was wondering, go ahead.
Yeah, that, they should have. Right.
But the thing of it is they're on the local board, they're also on the county board, so it's appealed to the county. As well as
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order, say the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Always double check.
Okay, are there any additions or corrections to the consent calendar?
So moved.
Motion, wait a second.
Second.
We call roll.
Commissioner Spiggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next on the agenda, we're going to be convening as the Board of Equalization. Property owners had the opportunity to file a valuation appeal with the local Board of Equalization no later than the Thursday preceding the third Monday in March, which was on March 13th in 2025. As per South Dakota Codified Law 10-11-16, the appeal hearings will be held Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, and starting at 6 p.m. here at the depot. And a motion is needed into recess regarding codified law to call the Board of Equalization to order.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioners Garbers.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Biggers.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. And now we entertain a motion to enter back into the city commission meeting?
No, we
No?
go into the Board of Equalization.
Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, I didn't get this one.
It's out there.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the agenda for tomorrow night?
Motion to approve.
Okay, who's the second?
Second.
You got that?
I'm just trying to figure out which one I was gonna give it to.
We'll call roll.
Commissioners, York.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Okay, the annual meeting of local Board of Equalization is the third Monday of March. As per South Dakota Codified Law 10-11-13, a motion is needed for the Equalization Board to ascertain that all taxable property in the city of Canton has been properly placed upon the assessment roll and has been duly valued by the Director of Equalization. And motion is needed to recess until tomorrow at
No,
6.
I need a motion for that.
Oh, you need a motion for that. Okay, get on it, guys.
Second.
Roll again.
Commissioners Larson. Aye. Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
York. Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Now we need a motion to recess until 6 PM tomorrow.
So move.
Second.
Commissioners Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Larson. Mayor Lundstrom.
Okay, now,
Now you call the meeting back to order.
one meeting back to order.
All right.
And there, are there any visitors to be heard tonight that is about something that is not on the agenda? Nope, doesn't look like it, so we'll move on to, we have no old business and we'll move right on to new business. We're going to appoint election workers for the city election. The city commission is required to appoint the election board workers, and on April 8th, 2025, we will conduct the municipal election. Following list of workers have agreed to work on the election on the 8th. Precincts 1, 2, and 3 will be Karen Leffler, Sharon Mitchell, and Myra Leffler. Precincts 4 and 5 will be Shirley Temple, Deb Spronik, and Leanne Narum. The board is required to put in a couple hours on the day before the election, and setting up the hall for the following day's election, as well as election day that will run from 6:30 a.m. through the day until the counting is completed. Each worker will be paid $250 for their services. And a motion and second is needed to approve the election workers.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioners York.
Aye.
Larson. Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next on the agenda is the 2025 Slurry Seal Notice Award. The city will be doing a slurry seal project instead of chip seal, and the city will award the bid to the Asphalt Surfacing Technologies, that's Aztec, out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. And the bid was $137,562.80. And this was about $17,000 over the city's estimate. This is due to traffic control related items which went up between 60 and 400% from last year. Myron Adams, city engineer, recommends awarding the slurry seal to Aztec. Entertain a motion.
Motion.
A second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Why are we choosing slurry seal over chip seal?
We believe we're getting a better product out of it. Slurry seal, we don't have as many, when we chip seal, we always have the chips, and there's a bunch that slough off. With slurry seal, you don't get that.
Let's waste the product.
Does that sound right, Dennis?
Yeah, plus you don't have the oil that comes up out of the rock and sits on top.
So are we going to be doing a mixture of slurry seal sometimes and chip seal other times? Or are we gonna go straight up slurry seal going forward?
We've been doing slurry seal the last
2 years.
2-3 years.
I thought we just did chip seal.
No, we've been doing slurry seal the last couple, 3 years.
Then I mix them up. Okay.
And I think we're gonna continue on with it, because again, I think, from what I've been told, we're getting a little bit better product out of it. And it's not as much waste and cleanup, and if you ever had your, and I don't live in town anymore, but I lived in Pier that chip sealed my street. And all winter long, every time the plow went by, I'd pick them up and throw them in your yard, and you were pulling out rock chips forever.
You got a motion in a second?
Yes.
You want to call roll?
Yep. Commissioners Larson. Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next on the agenda is the summer recreation hires for the recreation program. The rec board made the following recommendations for recreation assistants: Isabel Bauer at 1821, Landry Meister, Jeremy Ike, and Lexi Kapperman at $17.96 an hour each. And And it was budgeted for this year, so I'll entertain a motion for that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions? Call roll.
Commissioner Spiggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Larson. Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. And next is summer help hire for the Public Works Department. Director of Public Works has made the following recommendations for summer public help is Tyler Lease at 1888, Keegan Short at 1863, Matt Anderson at 1838, John Anderson at 1838, and Corbin Winquist at 1863. And these are budgeted positions for 2025. Entertain a motion for this?
Motion with the question, please.
For a second?
Second.
Who are these reported to Dennis or Andrew or a combination?
Dennis is who they report to. I'll be assisting though, and especially when it comes to maybe park attention, where they can focus their time, but they answer to Dennis.
You good? Can we call roll?
Commissioners Garbers.
Aye.
York. Larson. Biggers.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next on the agenda is lifeguard hires for our pool. We had an amazing amount of applicants this year, and the following recommendations have been made for lifeguards, and I will read them. McKenna Lalaman at 1880, she will be a head guard. Jesse Wentz, 1880, he's a head guard. Josie Nelson, Tessa Teeman, Landon Hill, Jordan Reed, Alex Reed, Cameron Skiles, Braylon Nelson, Nora Devitt, Avelia Jacks, Shelby Olsa, Kaylee Henderson, Kellyanna Halverson, Lane Halverson, Jeremy Ike, Lexi Kapperman, Autumn Ask, Cameron Peterson, and Jenna Vanderweerd, and that is at $17.96 an hour for those lifeguard positions. And these positions are all budgeted for this year. So, I'll entertain a motion to hire these kids.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
Long time coming.
Yes, definitely.
Sure know how to swim.
Pardon?
Sure these guys know how to swim? It's been like 5 years.
Well, they probably were in kindergarten when we started building the pool.
You gotta throw my 2 cents in there.
Is pool scheduled to open?
The end of May. Or the last week of May.
We aren't any tighter on a date than that right now.
So you want to call the roll?
Commissioners York.
Aye.
Larson. Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next item is a fire department roster update. Keaton Nelson is a new member of the volunteer fire department and needs to be added to the roster for workers' compensation policy. I'm going to entertain a motion to add Keaton to the policy, or to the roster.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Call roll?
Commissioners Larson. Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next, we have an application for abatement of property taxes. Jeff and Mandy Grosky are requesting property tax abatement in the amount of $2,103.70 for their property located at parcel 271-01009, which is 1521 Holiday Drive. The amount is for a disabled veteran exemption, having otherwise qualified but missed the deadline prescribed in South Dakota Codified Law 10-4-40. So we need a motion and a second for this abatement.
For the mayor and the city attorney to sign.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on this? No, you want to call roll?
Commissioners Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Larson. Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next, we have a resolution for petition to annex Tri-State Ready Mix into the city's limits. And we received the petition to annex them. And what else we got here? And a motion is needed to approve the resolution.
Motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, call roll.
Commissioners Garbers,
Aye.
York, Larson, Biggers,
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next is the participation in regional sewer study with South Lincoln Rural Water. Self-explanatory motion is needed to authorize participation in the regional sewer study with South Lincoln Rural Water. The city would have a share of $2,214.29 for their share of this study.
There are, rural water recruited 7 other entities to share in the cost of the study. When I first brought it up to y'all, they were only hoping to get 5, so they got a few other participants in there. The numbered cost share went down a little bit. So it's a 3-month study. Have somebody come in and look at the proposal that's been on paper for a few years. Go in depth with a few of the communities and the industrial area out by the interstate and see if there's still the possibility that this project has legs for the area.
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, you want to call roll?
Commissioners York,
Aye.
Larson,
Aye.
Biggers,
Aye.
Garbers,
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next is the item of the library roof. The city solicited quotes from contractors to re-roof the city library. And a motion and second is needed to proceed with hiring a contractor. And I'll turn that over to you.
Yeah, I solicited quotes from 3 local contractors. All 3 of them submitted bids. Our low quote is Woods Roofing at $88,205.78.
That's some of the roof we got on here.
It'll be a steel shingle roof. I don't see us getting rid of any buildings, so I might as well put the best roof on that's possible, so we don't have to do it in 5 or 10 years if we get a hailstorm.
Motion to approve the Woods quote.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any other questions? You can call roll.
Commissioners Larson.
Aye.
Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
York. Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next subject is the H&H study, and a motion is needed to authorize HDR and JSA to proceed with the H&H study, which was awarded on October 7th, 2024. Okay, and the statement of interest for the flood resiliency and economic recovery report was previously awarded. And it's contingent on funding from FEMA.
Yeah, the original motion by you all was for it to be contingent on.
Right.
And we won't have notice of award until sometime next year. We're still sending in the applications, not clear whether or not they would fund after the fact, but I just don't want to sit around waiting for the FEMA money while we could be proceeding with the study as it is. HDR and JSA. JSA's done a study. Previously, HDR has, we're up to date tools to do the study. And the sooner we can get started, the sooner we can have a proposed fix and start moving on construction or FEMA application for that.
Getting started doesn't affect the FEMA qualifications.
But no, they might not reimburse us since we've already started on it, but
We have to do it anyway.
yeah, it's just worth it. We are also gonna put in an application now, running parallel for them to fund the actual physical construction. Because again, that's also on a 1.5 years or so reward timeline, so.
And do we know what the cost of it is if we don't get it from FEMA?
Yeah, it's 88,
83, I thought.
83,000.
The last time we had one done was 2011.
Yes.
A small one, yes. I think the one in 2011 was just basically the Canton area. It didn't expand out further, which is where we're catching more water.
So when you say expanding further out of our city limits
Yes.
and we can't get assistance from the county, means we're doing,
I think the county's more than interested in working with us for the construction
sure,
fix. I've had that conversation with Harold from the county. And they've also signed on as sponsors for our FEMA applications, but yeah, I think they'll be interested in participation on the actual construction fix. And yeah, outwards, we're looking specifically to the north, obviously. Where's that water coming that gets down Cedar? And where can we catch it and stop it or slow it?
Do we want to entertain a motion to begin the study?
Motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any other questions? If not, call roll.
Commissioners Biggers.
Aye.
Garvers.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Last item on the agenda is to appoint a city engineer. And this item was tabled until a later date at the February 18th meeting. The city commission makes appointments each year and however, had not yet appointed the city engineer for 2025. Since a request for proposals had engineering services was authorized in October of last year. And so, moving forward, a motion. Anybody want to make a motion?
Some public input.
We have to make a motion first.
I'll make a motion to keep JSA as the city engineer.
I'll second that. Discussion from the audience? Mhm.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission, Chad Skiles again. Start off by saying a thank you to Teresa Zollner, Sioux Valley News, from her comments from 2 weeks ago. I thought they were quite pertinent. I know that there are other citizens in Canton that were asking the same questions about why so much secrecy, lack of transparency, things being done in executive session. Secondly, is a comment. Why in the world are we going through this whole process to begin with? When we have had the same engineer for 25 years who knows the infrastructure of this town inside and out. I just don't understand it. The request for proposals went out, that's fine. There was numerous that responded to it. And one of them that responded seems to be a favorite of one or two commissioners here, and they are entitled to their opinions. But my last request is this. I do think it's very important for the citizens of Canton to know that if any of the current city commissioners who are going to be acting on this have had any outside dealings with or interactions with or business with any of these potential engineers. And if so, I think ethically that you should say that publicly before a vote is taken. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hi, Vicki Hoekstra, and I live just west of the high school, 320 West Lynn Avenue. And I pretty much agree with everything Chad has said about the water issue. You know, I thought we already met with the engineer and he was already there. A lot of people on Cedar Street, some of the commissioners were there, plus the engineer, and a lot of the Cedar Street people and us have explained. And we moved in 2015. Jim Toff lived there before. For over 30 years, I never got water in his house. And our house is a long ways from the railroad tracks, if you notice, or push back. But we have been flooded at least 3 times. And it all started worse because all that water from the tile, all the fields come down. And if it rains, even if it's not a hard rain, that water just pushes. And then when the PAC Center got built, where the PAC Center is, they took a big tile from the high school and put an easement and took the tile and ran it all the way through that little piece, which we also own, right before the railroad tracks. And ever since then, we have flooded. And I had contacted the commissioners back then. I know Moses was up there, and I can't remember who's all up there, a bunch of the commissioners. And we told them, this is now flooding us. Every time this comes, because all that water's coming down. And part of what I was told is that where the high school PAC Center was built was kind of a water area. And that's kind of why they did that town. And you can see, and especially with the flood, and I can show you pictures, you can see all the water coming, plus all the water from the field coming down. And then it goes over, and then it goes under the railroad tracks, over the railroad tracks. And then we get planted by our house about 10 apple trees, peaches, we lost them all after they've been there producing because it was too wet. They just couldn't take it. That's how it was, and for why we couldn't even mow. But now, since this last flood, I should add after that, the railroad came in, and part of it is the railroad tracks. They started to fix the railroad tracks, and they have a big pile of rock and gravel. You have kids playing in it. They haven't they're done. They keep saying they're gonna return it. They never do. All that sliding in all the time, which is also blocking it. And then when you go on the south side, none of that has been done. There's trees, and according to Palmer Erickson, and he called the commissioners when he was alive, that has not been done since 1986 or 1980s on that south side. And he said it took them a long time, but no one's ever touched it, even though people have asked and asked and asked. And as far as also the water coming down the city street, you'll have all that coming down. You have all from the high school. And then when you get further, blocked down by Cedar and Elder, all the other from the high school comes down, all the water from the east, and it all lands on Cedar and just goes down. Because when we had the flood, again, the last time, there was people kayaking, swimming, fishing. But I mean, it's getting to the point where, all of us in Cedar are, and we have discussed with, that's what I don't understand either. I thought we were already getting this going. I mean, the flood's already in June, and we engineer, why are we switching? Why are you guys having these executive meetings? And is it a conflict of interest? I know there's a field behind, and I guess to me, if it should be a city thing, not a thing, and doing right's what's by, not what's right because somebody owns a piece of property by our land. It should be, and that guy has been this engineer, we've explained to him, a lot of the city people on Cedar Street have talked to him. I mean, we are all under the understanding that this was already happening and getting planned and worked on. I mean, this has been a long time coming. This should have been done, started back in 2018. And at that time also, there was a tile break in the practice field. And I have said, and they used to be able to see the spring come up too. And that may be also part of why there's more water. Plus that the oil on the Co-op or Dakota Street, where the water all comes in the field and then just comes down. We got water coming from everywhere in that one area. Because we used to be able to go over there, mow that. We have never, since PAC Center came, we can't even mow over there. We can't go over there. It's just too wet. We used to, those guys used to ride their bikes and just doing different things. People used to walk their dogs back there. People would come to go to the football game for the railroad tracks. Oh, we loved you guys mowing. We go through. Now they just have to go and try to get across in the mud. So most people have to go around. But I'm just sick of the water. We've added tile all the way around our house. We've added another sump pump, and we still flooded.
Okay, and you're speaking on behalf of the engineers, or?
No, I'm just thinking, I guess I don't know personally, we met with them, the GSA, and they've been, the Kansas City engineers. I don't know him personally, I don't know him, but they all met, the commissioners were there, And we came over and a bunch of the people from City Street were up there and I was asking people's opinion, what do you think? Where did your water get there? We kind of all said as a group and we're all, I guess all of us, we're kind of understanding that this was already starting to get discussed, that we were starting to had a committee and this was moving forward, and I guess I didn't realize that we're not, now we're just deciding which engineer. And I guess I do wonder about the secret meeting, but I mean, it makes me think that something's up, because why aren't we having this out in public?
Thank you. Anybody else?
Joe Zomer, 804 East Elder in Canton. I just have a couple questions, I won't hold you. I was concerned with some of this because I did watch the 4 hours of you guys entertaining all these engineers and stuff here in town. And never really ever heard anything about cost. And I asked several of you, what about the cost of this? Why are we changing? And one of the answers I got was we were looking at something that's more of a full service firm versus a on-call firm that we have. Well, in my mind, an on-call firm who is JSA and Myron, who have done us well and have helped us in the plumbing community all these years, will probably be a cheaper route than what a full service route is. I don't know, why can't we know about this as the public? Why can't we know the cost of all 4 of your engineers that we did that day? What about the cost of Myron's expertise in that, he has worked with us along with the water and sewer guys, which they're just getting to know us again. Because, we already lost Chris Kergelman and he was an asset for us in our plumbing business when we were looking for water shutoffs and that kind of thing. It's just a concern of me that I'm not sure why we're getting rid of something that works. And if it's costing us more money as a community, we've probably paid our dues in water bills at this point in time. That I hate to see another add thing on the bottom that's gonna say, now we have another surcharge for, because we decided to change engineers. I don't know, why may we not know the cost of these? That's all my question is.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, the other thing I forgot to tell you is, the road by the Toff, well, they call it Toff Road, but by the railroad tracks, there when it did flood, the road was starting to erode after we had called Chris, they came up and looked at the easement and all that in the water, but the road was starting to crush because it wasn't. They added a culvert on the west side of there, all on the other side of the railroad tracks, on their side of the road, way too small. It is plugged all the time. That's another reason too, with the water that comes over, has no place to go because that side is plugged. And I think I personally don't know, I'm not a city person but I think the culvert is way too small. It should have been a lot bigger culvert opening. But it's usually plugged right on the other side. So the water has nowhere to go, so it just backs up by the road. And that's on a normal rain, or if it's a heavier rain, doesn't have to be a flood rain. That's on a normal. But a lot of it too, like on the railroad tracks too, which I know is also hard, part of that is theirs too, that on the south side that needs to be done. I know working with the railroad isn't fun.
That's to say the least.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move forward. We have a motion and a second for JSA, and I'm open for discussion from the board. If not, we'll call roll. And move on from there.
2 people brought up the land that, yes, I own. First of all, if anybody wants to buy it, come and see me tonight. I'll be more than glad to sell it. And I guess I don't know what I did or said that I'm voting to favor that piece of ground. And when I did buy it from the Skiles family, I had an engineer firm that already had previously done a couple layouts, so I hired them to renew it, bring it up to speed, and that's what has been done. So I don't know what the big holdup is, or what do you think I'm trying to hide, but I'm really not hiding anything. And if anybody here or anybody that's listening thinks that's just wish they owned it, we can have it done the end of this week yet.
Any other comments, questions?
Well, I can tell you the hourly rate for each of the engineers that we are looking to hire, or that were interviewed. DGR, their point of contact would be $2.16 per hour. JSA is $158 per hour. ISG is $195 per hour, and they do give a discounted rate of $85 for certain services. And Banner's hourly rate is $162.
Thanks. Anything else? Anyone want to call roll?
Commissioners Garbers,
No,
York. Larson. Aye. Biggers,
No,
Mayor Lundstrom,
Aye.
motion fails.
Okay, now we're opening again.
Make a motion to use ISG as a city engineer.
second,
Any discussion? Now you want to call roll?
Commissioners York.
Aye.
Larson. No. Biggers,
aye.
Garbers,
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom,
No.
motion passes 3-2.
Okay, that concludes that. Now we'll move on to, that's the end of the agenda, by the way. And now we'll have a commissioner dialogue. Do you have anything, Chris?
No, I don't. Chris, did we want to talk booze?
Sure.
When, just in my short time since I started, I've been approached regarding the city's municipal liquor tax. As you all know better than I do, the city used to own a liquor store. We no longer own that liquor store, but physically, but we still do it as an administrative sense. And that liquor holding entities in town don't order their own booze directly from the distributor, or they do, but we handle payments, I guess, between the establishments, whether they're, part-time bars or full-time grocery stores. The financing and pay gets done through us. As part of that, there's a 10% additional charge on those purchases of alcohol.
it's 10 and 5, right?
Yep, 10 on liquor, 5 on beer.
Thank you for that clarification. And it's just been brought up as to whether or not that would be something we would look at doing away with. And then all the folks in town, they would deal directly with the distributors and we wouldn't be involved anymore. I think for most of them, or I shouldn't even say most of them, but if you're there full-time, if your business is open full-time, it definitely is to their advantage to not have us in the middle. Some of the establishments that are more part-time, they might like the fact that we're in between. It gives them a little bit of time to make the payment, not have to be there with payment in hand like you would normally have to be at the time of delivery. We bring in roughly $100,000 a year. For that, it does take staff time, a considerable amount every month. So it's, what would we do to plug that gap? I don't know. I definitely think there would be a growth in third penny that's associated with booze. There would likely be some bump in the overall sales tax as people who are avoiding buying booze locally also end up buying some other stuff when they're out of town. It'd always be hard to quantify that number, but, yeah, I just, I've been approached by it. I know that a couple of commissioners have been approached about it. And thought I'd at least bring it up with y'all.
Something to.
Yes.
Forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's dialogue, so we can't vote on anything, but I see we got Darren here, and I did talk to Andrew about that too. Yes, to be more open. The people that hold the license now, I'd like to get all them together and discuss with Andrew and Kyle, if that's who it is, and with what we got going on in the city, it's hard to say, we guess we don't need $100,000, but at the same time, now we're charging them 10 and 5% on things that I get ordered to the city. One thing that might be a little bit fairer is if we charged it on what they sold or a flat fee.
We can raise the tax for the cost of the liquor license.
Just something to think about.
Mhm.
But I think if we get the input of the people that are holding those licenses, I think that could be beneficial.
Are we done with that?
Yeah.
You have anything, Kyle?
Nothing.
Jackie?
Do we still have the people that would assess trees, like tell people what they have in their yard? If they're dead and need to be taken down since they need to be done, the 1st of May.
Corbin and I was talking to Chris about it too. Did Troy say anything about riding around with Chris Lotus and identifying trees that were still standing?
He did, but they only marked the boulevard trees, from my understanding. So I do not have a list of trees that need to be removed by the deadline.
On public property,
Yeah.
or private property.
Yes, because someone reached out to me asking if there was anyone that could help identify, because they don't, being that there's no leaves on them, they're not sure what's what. And I don't know if we still have those people, like I know John Lenz was doing it and some other people that had volunteered to,
Guess that's what I was gonna bring up too. Before we get to the end of April, when they're already supposed to be down, then are we gonna wait till that time to act on it, or should we start doing something now?
That was our biggest question, was how we were gonna address the private trees. We were concerned about how we were gonna communicate with private trees. Were you gonna go on to people's property or were you gonna work from the sidewalk?
Yeah, if they don't have any leaves on them, they're dead, that's an easy one. If they're still lively looking,
Well, we're less than a month and a half away from the deadline.
private property just gets hard.
You just can't just go on people's private property.
I think most of the trees are gonna be tall enough to where you can see them from the street view. It's the problem of taking that risk of whether or not the leaves are up with the snow that we've been having and stuff like that. So I think if we have, we have a list at City Hall that has people that voluntarily told us what's dead and needs to be removed, correct? So we kind of can start with that, with what we have, and then slowly work our way around. I know that we don't like moving the deadlines of things, but if we need another couple of months to do it right, that's probably the better thing to do than to rush it.
When was this process started?
Oh, a year or two ago. It's been going on for a while. We've moved deadlines. It's hard because, these trees, as I've been told by some tree trimmers, get extremely dangerous once they're dead, and they're very costly to remove. You got 3-4 ash trees, you're looking at, $3,000 to $10,000. So we've been trying to work with some people in the boulevard areas. Like I said, private property gets a little bit harder. And we're still trying to work out a little bit of a process yet for the private trees.
And the May 1st deadline applied to the private property.
Yes.
We're supposed to have the boulevard ones now.
And I
Or do
think
we have still boulevard trees up?
I don't think there's many, I know some people had contacted us saying they've got somebody lined up, but they won't be there for a while, which is obviously beyond the deadline. I said, if you got somebody lined up, that's fine, but obviously in 6 months, the tree ain't down, you're gonna get contacted. So,
All of the case reports where there were boulevard trees were either cleared as they had it scheduled and they showed us, or they were removed. So unless there's one or two that slipped through the cracks, I believe that all of the boulevard trees have either been cut all the way down to stumps and then they're gonna remove the stumps later on. Because initially we thought that that was gonna be okay with leaving the stumps, but it's not gonna be okay. We're gonna have to go all the way down to a normal cut tree. But I do believe all of the boulevard ones have been removed.
Going back to your stumps, what changed on that? Because I thought, what's his face?
The ordinance reads cut flush to ground. So when he says stumps, it's not stumps, it's trunks.
Yeah.
Corbin,
Gotcha.
no,
That's why you're the arborist
I'm
and
just-
I'm in the crowd.
I don't need people calling saying, what, no.
Yeah.
No, cut flush to ground. That's the ordinance reads.
Okay. Paul, do you have anything besides, other than that? No? Okay. I don't have anything to you, Kyle?
nope.
Andrew, besides that?
No, I don't think so. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but.
Okay. So I'll entertain the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yes.
Call roll.
Commissioners Larson.
Aye.
Biggers.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
York. Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
Yes. Adjournment was York and Larson.
Is that going $8 on every water?